Welcome to this Comcast Spotlight. My name is Brennan Keene. I am privileged to serve as chairman of the board of the directors of the Chesterfield County Chamber of Commerce. We are the champion of the business community, and we are excited to continue this partnership with Comcast, highlighting 3 businesses in Chesterfield County. And my first guest is Faye Ram, General Manager of Tropical Safari. Thank you for being here.
Nice to thank you.
Thanks for being here. So, you were at our annual legislative reception and a taste of Chesterfield and had some of your product, your smoothie product. But tell us a little bit about how you decided to get into this business and what your product is and how it's different from other smoothie companies.
Okay. Well, Tropical Safari is basically, I got into the business by accident. My background is in IT, and basically my in-law was looking at the smoothie business, and they basically dragged me into it. From there, I actually fell in love with it. You know, when I got there, I really ran the business. 7 days a week was in a mall, and after 3 years of there, I decided, you know what, I like to go do my own, And from there, in 2010, my in-law wanted to open an actual shop. So I used my experience from Freshens to do our own Tropical Safari smoothies.
Well, tell us a little bit about your product and how it's different than other smoothie companies, because you're a
Virginia's finest.
Designation.
Yes. Yeah, our product is the only one that's actually our mix is a Virginia's finest product, and what makes us different from our competition is basically we use exotic fruits. Not many people are familiar with jackfruit, mangosteen, rambutan, lychee, and those products. Some people have heard it, but they've never tasted. So in order to really get the experience, we go do events. Sometimes we have a taste test at our location, and another thing that makes us really unique is we do spirited smoothies, because most basic drinks right now at the bars and clubs are daiquiris and mixed drinks. For us, basically you get a serving of fruits and a little spirits.
Well, that's interesting. So you're using fruits that people aren't used to, and this is the thing I've always been interested in, because there are a lot of fruits out there that we as consumers in the United States don't see that often. Yeah. I didn't know that, for instance, mangoes, there are like 100 different varieties of mangoes.
Yes.
And so this is sort of an interesting, so tell me a little bit more about how you decide on which fruits to use in your smoothie product.
Well, basically, I've used from my childhood. I was raised in a camp, in a refugee camp, and from there, there's a lot of open markets. So I remember, some of those fruits that are so unique. I said, I couldn't imagine if the people in America would taste it. They're so great. Here you don't have much choice, but in the Orient, there are hundreds of fruits. What I'm giving is only the tip of the icebergs. It's just so much. Your palate is, 4 or 5 fruits is nothing when you have a variety of 50 or 60 different kind of fruits out there,
So where do you get your product? And it can't be easy to find this product.
Well, the product we have, like I said, it's a shelf stable. So we can't do all the fresh, but the product we use is canned, but we freeze it, so make it more consistent. Because if you get the fresh one, there's no way we can really actually do a fresh one. It's too much labor. So.
Well, tell me a little bit about this, your background. You said that you spent some time as a child in a refugee camp, and you had an experience there, obviously with fruits. But what about that experience sort of got you driving to be an entrepreneur? Well,
if you live in a refugee camp, as a child, I left my country in '79, and from there, from '79 to '83, I lived in refugee camps in Thailand and in the Philippines. And when you're living there, you don't realize, as a kid, you don't have no sense of time. You wake up and go to sleep, and that's it. You do whatever you need to do. There's no sense of Monday, Friday, next month, next year, none of that stuff. And then when you think about it, when I was there, I had no education. I didn't go to school. I skipped school. I've done all that stuff. But then when you come to the United States, you realize, you look back and say, you know what? I have an opportunity here. I'm not going to waste it. A lot of people come to the United States and do whatever they waste. They do all this crazy stuff. But I've realized that, I cannot waste this time. There are people who are willing to die to come here, and I can't waste it. To me, it's a disservice, to come in and not use that opportunity to be an entrepreneur. In the U.S., it's true that if you dream of something, you can do it. Over back home, I mean, I can dream all I want, but I'm going to be a rice farmer for the rest of my life. You can't. You can dream, but there's no one. Someone's always going to be stopping you. Here, I mean, it's not going to be quick and easy, but just the opportunity to do it and to know that I want something and I'm going to get it and do it the right way. That's what it's all about.
That's a terrific lesson. It really is, and it's amazing if you look in our community, how many leaders there are who are first or second generation immigrants whose parents came to the United States or they came to the United States, and the first thing they did was start a business. Yeah. And I think that's a great story to tell, and people need to be reminded.
Yeah, and for me, I want the kids who are born here to realize, even my own son, to realize that nothing is easy. I mean, you can't really sit and complain. If you sit and complain, that's going to happen. You got to realize how good you have it. But in a way, really, when you really think about it, it's hard to forget it to people to feel it because they haven't experienced it. But hopefully, when I tell people that I'm genuine about the whole thing, that learn to appreciate what you got. And then if you want something, there's no need to complain. Go out, do it. There's always someone there to help you. There's people trying to pull you down, but that's one thing. But there's more good people on this planet than anybody else that people realize. There's more good people.
Great. Let's get back. Let's talk a little bit more about your product and your business. So you have this product now that you can offer in bars and restaurants for spirited drinks, yes. And then there's just the I guess what we call virgin drinks as well, yes. Smoothies. So where can you find your product? Where are you providing this product?
Right now, we only do business to business. So we're looking for business out there that basically we can complement. So we don't actually have our own storefront. So we're looking for a bars club. That's why we have our taste test, and we'll go and demo the product at the business owners, and then see if they like our product. And we provide complete training on all of it, and we're a complete smooth and beverage solution.
So the business to business, you're looking in the entire Richmond market right now.
Yes,
basically.
yes,
just
correct.
Anyone that you can do business to business. How have people viewed that experience? I mean, what kind of feedback have you gotten?
Well, right now we actually have one person in one company, a concession company, that's actually going to sign us up, and we'll have Tropical Safari at the DMV building downtown. So he's going to do a test on there. If it goes well, he has 2 other locations. So we basically 3 locations. So within a month or so, we'll probably have 4 locations in Richmond.
That's great.
So
that's terrific. So I like it's interesting, this sort of business to business. That way you can sort of diversify your client base and get the product in a lot of places.
And one thing I forgot to point out is also catering company. This is perfect catering company because our product is shelf stable. So you can take it. All you really need with our product is ice and the blender. You're good to go.
Great. Well, Faye, I appreciate your story, and I appreciate your spirit of entrepreneurship. And I appreciate your participation in the legislative reception. You were the first person that I saw, the first thing I tried, and I really liked it. So.
Our smoothie is the best smoothie on the planet. So
great. Thanks for being here, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right. Welcome back. Our next guest is Elizabeth Harrell. She is a Special Events and Communications Manager for Richmond Animal League. Elizabeth, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Well, Richmond Animal League, people are familiar with some of the organizations devoted to animal protection. Richmond Animal League actually has a shelter in Chesterfield.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do animals get to the shelter that Richmond Animal League manages? Sure.
Well, we're the oldest no-kill shelter in the Richmond area. We were started in 1979 by a group of concerned citizens who were really concerned about the number of homeless animals in the area. And we are not an intake facility. Instead, what we really focus on is helping all of the other area shelters in the Central Virginia area And we want to pull animals from those shelters. The shelters that may, because of overcrowding or lack of resources, are facing euthanasia of animals, we take animals from those facilities and bring them to our shelter here in Chesterfield.
So what are some of the partners or the shelters that you work with to do that?
We pull from animal control all over. We pull from Caroline County, from Powhatan, of course from the Chesterfield Animal Control, from Richmond. We've actually, because of our partnership with Powhatan County, they haven't had to euthanize an animal in several years because we're able to help pull out of their shelter and give them the ability to use their resources to the best of their ability.
And this is particularly in a more urbanized area where we go from an urban area to rural area. It's a difficult issue because there are a lot of animals that are feral animals and not controlled, or people are not taking care of the animals as they should. And there are not a lot of government resources to take care of these issues.
Yeah, we also, because the first place to stop overpopulation of animals is by spay and neutering. 3 years ago, we started our Loving Spay and Neuter Clinic, which is a low-cost spay-neuter clinic, and we are spaying and neutering an average of 27 animals a day in that clinic. And we pull animals from Chesterfield. We transport them 2 days a week. We bring them up to the shelter. We also make sure all of our animals that come out of our shelter are spay and neutered before they go into a home for adoption. And again, anybody in the local area who is looking to spay or neuter their pet, we offer really low cost option that way. We also want to make sure that feral animals, feral cats especially, we offer free spay and neuter for feral cats. A lot of people think that when you see a wild cat in the area that they need to go into a shelter or be rehomed, and a lot of times those animals are wild and they may not do very well in a home. But what we do is encourage people to trap and then bring them into the shelter or into the clinic. We sterilize them and then send them back out into the community.
All of this doesn't come without cost and requires support. So talk a little bit how Richmond Animal League is supported financially.
Yes, we do not receive any funding from the government or any national humane societies. So all of our funding comes from private donations or from our adoptions, and then a little bit from grants, and then we have fundraising events that go on every year. So we really rely very heavily on our annual campaign contributions. And then we have a couple of big events that we do every year. Wolfstock is one that we have in the springtime. And information on that will be coming soon as we lock in on the areas. That's a really great event where we're raising money for the Richmond Animal League, but we're also bringing great awareness to homeless pets in the area. It's a lot of fun for the family with music and vendors, and we also have our Strut Your Mutt campaign, part of that, where we encourage people to walk their dogs, get a team together, and raise money for the Richmond Animal League through the dog walk. We'll also, we're excited to have a winter event that will be coming up this February. The details aren't all set in stone, but should be in the next few weeks, and that'll be another big fundraising event that we'll have.
Let's talk a little bit about Wolfstock. I'm a little familiar with that. My wife has a pet blog, and she has blogged about Wolfstock taking our animals there.
Yes.
This is something where it's open to the public, but you have vendors too. And talk about how a vendor can get involved in events that Richmond Animal League puts on.
Yeah, well, always come to our website and our Facebook page, because that's where we really update everything that's going on there. And we'll have all of our vendor information that's up there. But we're looking for, we always look for animal vendors, anybody who is a rescue group and wants to get their information out there, or if you are a face painter or a local restaurant that wants to participate. We have our vendor information that's going to be up on our website. You can print off the forms and you can get in touch with us. It's a really big festival affair, really dog-friendly, animal-friendly, and a great way for people to get out and celebrate our animals, and then also to help those that are in need in the area.
And I think that's